Hello, class. Welcome to assignment number 3 on using Adobe Photoshop on the computer. This is Mr. Martin. Very excited today to show you probably one of my favorite assignments to do on Photoshop. This one is called the Teacher Mashup. To get started, you're going to go to File. You're going to start a new document. We are going to make this document 3 inches wide by 4 inches tall. 300 resolution, colors RGB, and hit create. I've already done so. And here's my document right here. Notice I already have some pictures in there. You probably need some pictures. Your job is going to be to take 2 Valley Middle School staff members, and I have linked this page on our assignment. And you're going to bring in 2 of their pictures. You do that by right-clicking, copy image, go back into Photoshop, and Control V as in Victor, V as in victory, and paste it in. Use our transform tools, Control T to resize it. We learned about week number 1 assignment. And do that twice. I have brought in a picture of Mr. Martin and a picture of Mrs. Martin. We are going to do our best to mash those up into one realistic looking person. So let's get started. Last week you learned about the selection tools, and this assignment this week is going to be entirely about using the selection tools, but using them in a much more advanced way. Now, in order to do the teacher mashup, you have to first decide what the kind of the bottom layer is going to be. Who is the base of this? So what we're going to do is I've made Mrs. Martin the base. So in the layer panel over here on the right, you will see that her layer is below mine, because I'm going to try to cut out features of me and put them on to Mrs. Martin's face. Now, if you do this extremely well and use our selection tools and you take your time and you use it carefully, you can get wonderful images like this. Student did this a couple years ago. This is Mr. Martin, Mr. Goatee, and Mr. Bettini converted into one terrifying individual. We also have Mr. Rosine and Mr. Gallagher, terrifying. And even worse, Mr. and Mrs. Palinka. So you can have some fun with this assignment. I'm going to start with my plan here, and I'm going to, by the way, my hair looks great in that photo. Don't think it's looked that good again. Anyways, I'm going to try to select my glasses and eyes, maybe even my eyebrows, and bring those into Mrs. Martin's face. So we have our selection tool options. So last week you learned about the marquee tools, which allow you just to select a square, a rectangle, or an oval size selection to delete out. That's not going to work very well here. We do have the lasso tools, and in this case the magnetic lasso actually could work very, very well. Problem with this is you have to take your time and go very slowly, but if you do it right, this works really well. Magnetic lasso works because it's looking for contrast. So where one image is in different color than the others. That's going to get tricky over by Mr. Martin's eyebrows. My dark eyebrows and my dark glasses that I wore last year, which I don't wear this year. So that's doable. Could maybe pick that. Depends on your image. I don't know what you took. I'm always intrigued about our new smart selection tools. The magic wand, not quite going to work. In a picture of a person, too much contrast going on, or not enough similar colors, except for apparently my forehead. Not enough to work with. But I'm curious about the quick selection, and I'm going to try actually the object. So on my object here, we actually have we have lassos, we have other options. I'm going to go to new. I'm actually going to try a lasso on the smart. And I'm going to try to get it to get, I'm clicking and holding here. I'm going to try to get my eyebrows too. So I'm going to loop around everything. All the way over, down to where my sides of my glasses, up and under, and I don't know, I haven't tried this yet. I don't know what this is going to look like. Loop it back down, over, get the stem of my glasses, and start up here. Let go. It's going to do its thinking for a little bit. Wow, that looks pretty good. I got most of my image. Not quite everything, though. Let's check out the eyebrows here. So I'm going to zoom in. Maybe. There, now the zoom in was working. Back to my object. In this case, I'm now going to go up to the top of my tools here. I have the object selection, but instead of new selection, I'm going to go up here and click on this picture. That's its add. So whatever I try to get now, it's going to add it to the selection. And I want the peak of my eyebrow here, which I kind of missed. Let's add that. Not bad, not bad. Sometimes it misses. So you just got to play around with it. Like the glasses here. Oh, you missed a spot. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see if we can get it to get that spot there. Not bad. I still missed a little bit. I'm going to select over it again. I did miss down here. You going to add it? Oh, man, we're looking much, much better. So as you can see, it's already taking a lot more effort in selecting with a picture of somebody than it does with like a picture or a little icon, a logo like you did last week. It's not as easy. It takes a lot more time. I mean, really, if I were to get picky, like it's missing a lot of these colors in here. And it probably should get those, especially over here. The stem of my glasses completely missed it. So I'm going to make sure I'm adding to the selection. See if it gets it. Okay, it's getting close. I have a weird little shiny metal part here on my glasses. They're pretty cool. I haven't worn them yet this year because it makes me fog up my face mask too much. So, you know, it's a little iffy. Not terrible. But I'm going to show you, coming up here, probably the most important thing you can do with selection tools. All right, you know, this looks pretty good. I do want to fix over here, and I do want to fix over there. To do that, I'm going to go down here. This little picture, it's a square, a rectangle with a circle inside. That is called the quick mask. Notice how it turned everything red except for what I have already selected. So what I'm going to do, zoom in really close here. By the way, that quick mask color is very, very red right now. And I actually am going to use the paintbrush here. And oops. And I have to make sure white is on top here. And I can actually almost paint in the rest of what it needs to select. It's like, all right, you missed part of my glasses stems here. I'm going to fix that. Kind of missed my glasses over here where the shiny metal part is. Just using my paintbrush to touch it up. Make sure we get all that selection in. You can change the size of the brush up here. Mine's at 13 right now. Not terrible. Let's see what else it missed. Try to get over here where it missed part of my glasses. Paint the rest of my lenses in. Right, now, normally I would take much quicker, or not quicker, I'd go much more detailed. I'd take a lot more time to get this. A lot more time. I get way down to the point where I can see pixel by pixel. That's how detailed you can get on this. But because you don't want to watch me do this for 45 minutes in a video, we're going to leave it to that. Now I'm going to turn Quick Mask off, and I have a much better selection. I'm going to go back to my selection tool. With my selection tool on, I'm going to right-click, and I am going to duplicate. I'm going to layer it via cut. I'm cutting my glasses out. So if you hide them, you'll see, that's terrifying. My glasses are their own separate layer now. So I'm going to hide my face. And I'm going to go ahead and start moving and transforming. Let's Control T, make sure you're on the correct layer. And I'm going to do some rotating. Hiding up here. Okay, good, good. Let's zoom out. That's looking pretty terrifying. That's Mrs. Martin with my glasses and my eyebrows. I can also take some time if I wanted to soften those edges up a little bit. They look pretty rough. But this is me doing a quick work of it. Maybe next I would go in and hide my glasses and hide everything. I might go in now and take my nose, maybe my ears, maybe take my face and facial hair. Maybe I'm going to use my magnetic lasso here and just kind of go around my slightly bearded face where it clearly did not shave in this. Now what helps on the teacher mashup to get that real, truly realistic image, right click, layer via cut again, make sure I'm on my layer, hide me again, turn my eyes back on. That looks terrifying. Now let's bring Mrs. Martin back in. What was I saying? Trying to match skin tones, because we're not quite into doing any color blending things yet. I've not taught you guys how to do any of that. So I would recommend trying to stick away from people that have really different, drastic, like Mrs. Martin and I are pretty close. I definitely have more of a reddish hue than Mrs. Martin does. So it does make a little bit of it tricky. Oh my, this is one of the most awful things I've ever seen, but kind of awful in a good way. Now, again, if you take your time and do it really well, you can get some pretty good looking, terrifying, but good looking face mashups. So your job is to get 2 teachers. Take your time. You have a week to do this assignment, which means I should see some selections and cuttings that look like they took a week. What I don't want to see is, looks like somebody used the marquee tool, cut out an ear, and then decided, okay, oh boy, that's terrifying again, isn't it? I put an ear on Mrs. Martin, and then using just really sloppy work. Don't do sloppy work. Take your time. That actually somehow lined up and worked really well, which is terrifying, but I don't know how it did that. I'm going to delete it. So that is your job. Again, to load up your assignment, you have to go File, Save As, name it, please, your name, and then Face Mashup, or maybe the names of the teachers you used, and Face Mashup. Save it as a JPEG, and then save it. From there, you have to go in to Schoology through your PC. You can't take a picture with your iPad. I will not accept that. You have to load it up the right way. So to get to Schoology, it's school.district196.org. They'll bring you to your login screen. Mine looks like my teacher Schoology. So be sure to submit that. Do your best. I will put some of these up. I usually print them out and post them. Some of the really, really good ones. Please take your time. Do the best work you can do. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys.